This video is brought to you by Auralic, makers of the Altair G1 digital streaming DAC. Click to auralic.com for more information.
So we'll start today's video with an email from not a reader, but a friend. So Jana emailed me, and basically it's like, John, perhaps you could make a video about which is the best kind of phone to use or to buy for for high quality audio. Also, I think you should let your viewers know what kind of music Olaf likes to listen to. Well, let's tackle the second part first. Olaf likes to listen to German Schlager music and the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Anyway, today I want to talk about the differences between iPhones and Android phones for getting good sound out of them. I've got pretty much a vintage now iPhone 6s Plus. It was the last iPhone to have a headphone socket. My usual daily driver phone is an LG. It's a V40. This is a very unusual phone. It's very good for sound quality. I will talk a little bit about that as well, but I'd like to talk more about iPhones and Android phones in the general sense, where possible. So for example, one of the biggest differences out of the gate is that many Android phones like this one have a micro SD card slot inside. So I can load that full of songs, put it in the back, then use like a local player like Fubar to play those locally stored songs. Now with an iPhone, I can't do that. There's no micro SD card slot. And actually loading FLAC onto an iPhone, it's a pain in the ass. You have to use iTunes, drag and drop into like a little zone. It's not an elegant solution. So if you are a Bandcamp baller or a CD ripper, then I would definitely recommend you get an Android phone that has a micro SD card slot, because it's just going to be less hassle in the long run. This is Björk's Homogenic on Spotify. If I want to offline this to take it outside, just click the download button and it will start downloading it to the internal storage on the phone. No surprises there. Pick up my LG, my Android phone, it will do the same thing. But with the iPhone, I have to keep the app open. I have to keep the screen active so that it will keep downloading. If this screen, for example, if I lock my phone, that downloading, the offlining now stops. And that's not the case with an Android phone. If I lock my screen, the offlining continues in the background. So I can queue up many albums on my Android phone, let it run overnight if I need to, and it will offline all of that content without me having to constantly worry about, like, is the app open? Is the screen active? Which is what I have to do with the iPhone. So that's really another win for the Android. Now, if we don't have a headphone socket, most of us will be using Bluetooth headphones, a bit like these Sony. Now, all Bluetooth headphones do SBC. But I picked these off the shelf because they do LDAC, aptX, and AAC as well. These are advanced level, I guess, audio codecs. They make things sound, in the main, better. Now, in order to exploit those advanced codecs, we need to have them inside our phone. So actually, now I'll take the Android phone to start with, because most Android phones do SBC, LDAC and AAC as standard. Some of the better ones do aptX or aptX HD. So we can get LDAC and aptX HD performance out of these headphones when paired with an Android phone. But if we cut over to our iPhone, Apple only put SBC, because they have to, and AAC in here. So the only optional advanced audio codec inside an iPhone is AAC. So there's no aptX, there's no LDAC. So again, another win for our Android phones. Now, if we want to use wired headphones with an iPhone, we have to use a dongle. We have to embrace dongle life. So many people will know about the AudioQuest DragonFly Black. I'm going to hook this into here if I can get it the right way. Of course, you can use Apple's DAC dongle, but it doesn't sound very good. So we're talking about high quality audio here today. So we have this kind of situation, which this thing is not very robust. This breaks pretty easily. And also this adapter is quite expensive. It's 29 euros. Whereas if I take one for an Android phone, and I think this is much more robust, and if I do lose it or if it breaks, it's 9 euros. So there's a big difference there in terms of the, I guess, the quality of the adapter if we want to use third-party DACs or dongle DACs. I think, what do you call this, a dongle DAC? In the phone scenario, I guess it is, yeah. Now, some people might be asking, like, why the hell would you even use one of these? Well, because it sounds way better. The headphone output on here sounds way better than the headphone output on my iPhone. But this also sounds way better than Apple's own 3.5mm to Lightning adapter. This is $100. It's not cheap, but I mean, for many people, this will change their life. And this is a USB-A, so you can plug this into sort of more old school laptops. Or with the adapter we used for the Android phone, you can plug it into a MacBook like that. However, that's two pieces, right? Nowadays, we tend to see more often sort of what I call, or maybe what the industry calls, Pigtail DACs. Now that's USB-C at one end, 3.5mm at the other. So I can plug this straight into my Android phone and I've got pretty damn good sound quality. This iBasso sells for about $50, I think. It doesn't, does it sound as good as the LG? Because this LG is a very, very good sounding phone because it has a Sabre DAC inside and because MQA did something to enable a better audio path through the operating system. Oh my God, I'm getting super geeky and too early as well. But look, just take it that this is a Pigtail DAC. It doesn't quite sound as good as the AudioQuest DragonFly Black, but one that does, I think actually this probably has the edge over the DragonFly Black, is the Helm Bolt, which is also $99. Another Pigtail DAC with USB-C on one end, 3.5mm on the other. So we plug this in here. It's pretty flexible, but pretty strong. Yeah, I think, well, no, not I think, I know that this Helm Bolt sounds better, its output sounds better than what comes out of here. So I think that's pretty interesting. And I think this is probably one of the best or better solutions for an Android phone. However, people might be thinking, well, can I use this with an iPhone? Yes, you can, but let me show you what that looks like, because I think it's kind of comedic, really. So first of all, we have to convert this end into USB-A, because we need to then plug that into the Lightning USB-C adapter. So this, 1, 2, 3, is what we end up plugging into our iPhone. I'm sorry, but I think that's just a bit crap. You know, it's not an elegant solution at all. It's just a kludge. So I don't think that these USB-C Pigtail DACs are necessarily ideal for iPhones. So once again, the Android phone comes out, for me, ahead. So far it's just been all Android's way. But what I'm going to talk about next really doesn't favor the Android operating system at all, because Android OS in its vanilla form, so on most Android phones, whatever sample rate you play inside whatever app, mostly, the Android OS will resample it to 48 kilohertz. So if you're playing the Tidal app, it'll be resampled to 48. If you're playing Qobuz, it'll be resampled to 48. Now there are some workarounds for this. The first workaround is get an LG phone. Well, mainly for Tidal actually, because what MQA did is they helped code the Tidal app for these LG phones so that it sidestepped the Android OS's upsampling or resampling. So when I play Tidal Masters from this phone, out of this headphone socket, bear in mind it's this headphone socket, I don't get any resampling going on between the Tidal app and the headphone socket. So if I plug in the Helm Bolt into this phone, go to Tidal, pull up some Tidal Masters, let's go for some new order. You would think the Tidal coming out of here would go straight into here, but it doesn't. The Android operating system intercedes and resamples everything to 48 kilohertz. So there's no MQA coming out of this DAC in this particular situation. And that means we then have to resort to what I call the second workaround, and that's to use an app called USB Audio Player Pro. Now, I think this is a very clever app because as a music player, it interfaces directly with whatever USB DAC is connected. And that's great. So you can play this new order track inside USB Audio Player Pro, inside its Tidal section, and get MQA here. But the other gotcha is that the record labels won't allow offline content inside USB Audio Player Pro. So there's no offlining Tidal, there's no offlining Qobuz. So even though you get high res from USB Audio Player Pro and Qobuz as well, you get 2496, 24192, you can get all those things, but you're tethered to your house. And I think the whole point of having something like this is you can go outside. So unless you want to stream 24192 in the street and you've got a data plan which is enormous, but I think most people want to use offline content on their phone. And USB Audio Player Pro, difficult to say, is terrific, but it doesn't allow for that offline content. So I've got some orbital going here inside Tidal, and I've got this ridiculous dongle hell situation going on. But you can see on the Helm Bolt here, I've got purple, which means I've got MQA coming through here. So that tells us that iOS does not resample or upsample the digital audio before it's sent out over the USB here. So we get high res from this situation natively, so we could use Qobuz and get high res as well. So really what I think this comes down to is when you're trying to decide how you want your Dongle DAC to perform, that sounds ridiculous, but you have to decide whether you want an elegant physical solution that does not really do high res, or whether you want to embrace the world of dongles with an iPhone and then have high res just come through nicely. One weird quirk of the Helm Bolt is you have to plug in headphones before the DAC will activate and announce itself to the phone. So yeah, this is high res capable, but I don't know, man. I'm not really a fan of that as much as I am a fan of just simplicity and sort of physical elegance like this. So I call this one, so for high res support between these two types of phones, I'd call that a draw. Well, actually, no, it's not really a draw, is it? I mean, the iPhone definitely does it, but at a price, and the Android phone does not, unless you use that USB Audio Player Pro. So for Olaf, just for Olaf, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Californication, in MQA. Look, MQA purple here from iOS. I think the DragonFly actually is a more elegant solution for iOS users, for iPhone users, if you want to get high res out of an iPhone. So yeah, there. All right, so that's my take on the differences between Android phones and iPhones when it comes to high quality audio. Some of the issues that you should think about, you should consider. I think for me, in most cases, the Android phone wins out. But if you're a high-res nut, then obviously Hobson's choice, it has to be an iPhone. So yeah, I think that's a wrap. If you like this video, please hit the like button down below. If you like my attitude towards high quality, high-end audio in that it can embrace things as mundane as smartphones, then please subscribe to this channel. And as always, thank you ever so much for watching.